hour and a half or so that I had between me waking myself up at around 6, and Mom coming to pick me up in order to take me for a visit of Jim at Grandma's house. The route for which I didn't really recognize. Until we were pretty much there. I spent the car ride to visit Jim. Working on the head of a styrofoam drawing of an African American man. I was intending for this styrofoam drawing to serve as a prop character as the Uber driver's dad in the 99 Dan Hamming episode, which I did some work on both before Mom came to pick me up and right before starting to film this, basically right before Dad got home from work, and prepared this portion of Singapore noodles. The heart that loves is always young. Well, that is true in a sense. I had a somewhat smaller portion of Singapore noodles in the morning for breakfast. I microwaved it for, I believe, 1 minute and 30 seconds because I can set exact times. With Dad's microwave in his dining room area within the apartment unit. And I also had a thing of coffee Dad prepared for me. I think within minutes of me waking up at 6. Excuse me, and he left for work today at around 7. And I believe Mom came to pick me up at around 8:30ish in the morning. And as we were getting close to our arrival, I repeatedly played the song, Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under? From Mom's retro country sort of mix CD, which is when you burn audio onto a CD. And also in the morning, I also had 2 fortune cookies. Right next to the place where I got these 2 fortunes. I was in the spare room until Mom rang the buzzer indicating she was here at Dad's place. And I let her in, me being pretty much all ready. I packed 3 small pieces of styrofoam. Well, I would say small compared to what I've handled in the past. And some markers all within a plastic bag, because I put a zip bag, excuse me, that I think may technically be called a sandwich bag, but I think a sandwich bag might be smaller than the Ziploc bag. I had some of the markers in, but I put that Ziploc bag within the same plastic bag, which also had freestanding Sharpie markers. When I got to Grandma's place, I took my rainbow Crocs off, where you keep the guest shoes. Just inside the very entrance to the house. And somehow on the driveway, they got some kind of little gas pump, which perplexed me during pretty much every visit to Grandma's house until I asked about it closer to the end. Apparently, that gas pump is there because Jim used to fill up his own egg trucks, from what I recall hearing. When I went to get in Mom's car to start the visit, the road trip for the visit, I noticed that she remembered to bring the chicken styrofoam drawing I made for Jim, and we delivered it to Grandma's house, where Jim was staying under hospice care, breathing on his own, albeit with some labor due to pneumonia. I decided to play on low volume. Everywhere at the end of time, so that it would be at a low volume and that it wouldn't be too loud to Jim. You could theoretically sleep to it. Personally, just some feet away, I could barely hear the music at all at some points. When it got to stage 4, the first post-awareness stage, I couldn't really even recognize it, as I could hardly even recognize it. The volume was so low. Time seemed to pass quickly. Well, I sat primarily at first within the rocking chair they had within the room Jim was in, was laying down on a bed in. At first, but then Mom moved the bed up. That's making Jim more in a sitting upright position. More of a sitting position so that he would be able to breathe better, or breathe with less difficulty. And then I think from around noon, Mom made a video call to my sister, during which she got to speak to Jim, show me laying down on a couch. Since I got off the rocking chair after Grandma requested that she sit there in order to be beside Jim. Brianna also got to see the entirety of the chicken drawing styrofoam, which is probably located within the stair railings. And I also noticed there was this sort of secret, not so secret compartment, with some little sliding door. I ended up unintentionally falling asleep on that couch in the room Jim was in. Because it was comfortable and I was lying down on it. Since that's ultimately what I felt like doing. I'm not sure if it was due to tiredness or anything, but when I wasn't sleeping, I made efforts to talk to Jim, but he could barely talk intelligibly at all. Whenever he said, "Hey, Sandra," I thought he said thank you, which resulted in me saying "you're welcome" on at least one occasion. I think I slept for roughly an hour and 45 minutes, from roughly noon to roughly 1:47 p.m. on that couch before I was woken up by Grandma to try and move to a couch in the living room, or the couch in the living room, because she wanted to lie down on the couch, that I started lying down on. We got to about the second track of stage 5 of Everywhere at the End of Time before Carrie came over, who I commented looks alike to Zach, who also came over, I think, before I ultimately took the nap. Carrie is Jim's son, and Grandma, I believe, is the wife of Jim. So they're among Jim's closest relatives. This isn't really the case for me. At best, I would maybe be some kind of step grandson. My phone got drained to about 63%. I didn't go on my phone at all until near the very end of the visit, by which point I think it was roughly 4:30 p.m. and we arrived at I want to say at 11, or maybe it was at, I think it was closer to 10 a.m. Mom also took pictures of some photos that Grandma had saved within photo albums, along with newspaper articles reporting on Jim's winning of Citizen of the Year for the town back in 2006.